Alrighty, let's work through what we have going on. I know that somebody is concerned about kidney function. We're going to get to that. Well, let's go ahead and hop into that. So I think just understanding what bun is first and foremost. It's obviously it's used to treat to look at kidney function, which this is pretty focused on protein breakdown, protein synthesis, protein intake, how our digestion of protein is. But when we bring protein in, it's going to mix with the acid in the stomach and enzymes from the pancreas, and this is going to help those proteins break down into smaller proteins. The body can absorb those proteins. The body can also not absorb the proteins because the bacteria in the gut, some of the bacteria in the gut uses the protein as well. So not all of the protein and amino acids are going to be used by the body. Okay, once the protein is absorbed, the liver then becomes responsible for processing them. So if we have acute kidney issue, we're going to see liver enzymes be pretty whacked out here. And here, they're essentially going to be used as like raw material for the body to make its own proteins as they're disassembled, reassembled according to whatever it is that the body needs. Not all of amino acid structures that get used in the body are going to be like the exact same looking. So like think of this as like bricks, like wood, cement, steel, beams, like whatever, and you're gonna like build a building at a construction site. So the materials are all going to be used to construct the building or highway, whatever we're talking about. But there's going to be some material that's not used and it needs to be removed from the site. So the unused material is synthesized into ammonia. Ammonia is obviously not a healthy thing to have in the body, and it gets processed into urea. And then that's carried into the kidneys where it's removed, filtered out by the urine. So the bun is an indicator of how much ammonia is being transferred into urea. So there's a few things that can make the urea rise. Excessive protein intake, so a high protein diet, which we have. Excessive muscle breakdown, which you're commonly going to see run alongside elevated cortisol, which we do have both of those. And that's pretty common to see in somebody who's maybe a little bit overtrained, is a high bun and a high cortisol. Dehydration, but commonly with that, we're going to see some increased hemoglobin. We're going to see some increased hematocrit. Red blood cell count, I don't believe we have any of that going on here. Let's take a look. By the way, your glucose panel is fucking amazing. That's improved tremendously. I'm very happy with what's going on there. So your cortisol is 16.9. We need that around 11.5 to 12.5. So it's decently high, and with bun being high as well, it just suggests that we're likely overtrained, and that's okay. That's a normal place to be. If there's an acute kidney issue in terms of protein not being digested, or kidneys not able to take any of this urea in and excrete it, you're going to see liver backed up as well. Like every time I've seen it, I've never seen it without liver. And liver is obviously perfectly fine there. Also, if we had an acute issue, that creatinine would be over 1.4. That's rhabdo. Like if creatinine goes over 1.4, bun is really high. Like I agree, your bun is very much so elevated, but that rhabdo can really start. Like we see that when that creatinine goes really high. Sodium, potassium are good. So I'm assuming hydration. Yeah. All of our blood cell counts are good. So we know that it's not going to be a digestive situation. Now, could it be a digestive dysfunction and a dysbiosis? Now, when we see the elevated cortisol situation happen, that can make it quite tricky to kind of diagnose exactly what's going on. We do have the bacteria in the body and the digestive tract that feeds on the proteins, but wrong bacteria growing in your digestive tract can potentially increase the ammonia in your body and elevate bun on one of your tests. So a high bun can very much so signal incomplete protein digestion, which is mainly going to be caused by low stomach acid. So if there's any sort of like heartburn, acid reflux happening. So you'll typically with this see a low B12, and I'm pretty sure we don't have a B12 test here for us to be able to see that. Yeah, we do not. So, I mean, I think that it could be quite beneficial for us to look at a betaine supplement. Now, when we, like I said, if we see creatinine creep up over 1/4, then that's going to be a big issue. If we just see cortisol high and we see bun high, then that just tells me we just need to pull back training values. Lower protein intake while we pull back, and then usually I do that for about a week. The first 4 days is going to be no training and rest. Then the next 3 days we'll ramp training back in at about a 70% effort. We'll bring in a betaine pepsin enzyme with all of our protein digestive all of our protein meals, and then I'll pull down the protein. Typically, I just cut protein in half. We might as well just like clear it out as quickly as possible. But I don't see anything that's like super cause for concern or super crazy here. The T3 we definitely want to be higher. The T4 as well we want to be higher, and T3 reverse would actually be a little better if it was in that 14-15 range. But TSH is really good, which tells me that we're going to be on track for that to happen. But like I said, I'm really thrilled with the insulin, A1C, and glucose panel. That's really, really healthy for where we're at. So now we just want to get this cortisol down, and it's probably going to come down pretty naturally here. I'm going to look at our supplement regimen when I close out of here. But magnesium, B complex, ashwagandha helps. Whenever cortisol goes up, I really do like using Morphogen, adaptogen, 1 scoop morning, 1 scoop evening. I like plain. I actually don't have it plain right now, but usually in the evening time, I'm going to be having like some slow, kind of calm but happy music playing in my house, and that does amazing things for cortisol, so I highly recommend that. After a training session, I would highly recommend putting that in your headphones, like while you cool down or do cardio, or while you're driving home from the gym or walking home from the gym, whatever. I wanted to give you as much information here as I possibly could so you can really understand exactly what we're looking at. Like I said, not concerned. This isn't anything that's super crazy concerning. But I do want to get labs done again 4 weeks from now, okay?